Yo, what's good? This your boy Derek Branch here, SportsView360.com, covering the New Orleans Saints. And today I just want to talk about, what has transpired since the last video I put out in regards to Shedeur Sanders possibly coming to the New Orleans Saints in the first round of this year's NFL draft. Many of you already know the comments about the comments that Coach Prime said on Friday at his son's pro day at the University of Colorado. You know, I'm paraphrasing here when he said this, but he said, he liked the colors, he liked the food, he liked the people, he liked the city. He doesn't have a problem with Shedeur going to New Orleans. Now, the Buffalo colors are black and gold as well. So, with that being said, now that he made that statement, the sites out here, the sports betting sites out here like FanDuel and DraftKings both have the Saints as the odds-on favorite to take Shedeur Sanders ninth overall in the 2025 NFL Draft. After that, the Giants come in at second at plus 350, and after that is the Cleveland Browns with a plus 425. Steelers are 7-1. Jets, Raiders, and Rams are 10-1 odds to take Shedeur Sanders in the draft, which is going to be a few weeks from now. So, according to this article right here, they think that the Giants may have interest in Shedeur Sanders, but not at number three. So they believe that the Giants could trade down and take him later. The Raiders. I think the Raiders. I pretty much canceled them out in regards to taking Shedeur in the first round. They got Geno Smith, but Geno Smith's not a long-term answer. But he signed that contract extension. What are your plans behind Geno Smith? So they may have interest in him in the second round, and I don't think the Raiders are going to trade out on that pick to go down to get to go down to get Shedeur Sanders. The Jets, they can have some interest in as well, but they signed Justin Fields. But the contract that he signed, I agree with this. The type of contract that Fields signed, that's more like a bridge contract situation, a bridge quarterback situation. Do you take Shedeur at? Do you pass on to Shedeur at 7, or do you wait and get him in the later rounds? Now, since that remark has been made, there's been some theories on why Coach Prime may have said that, and some people believe that he's just build up, trying to build up the interest, team's interest in taking his son. He's trying to preserve his son's draft stock to keep it from dropping out of those top 10 picks. Because there's a huge difference in first round money as a rookie and second through fifth round money as a rookie. And if you fall out that top 10, that top, those top 15 picks, maybe top 10, the money is affected, you know. And also, he may be seeing it as Coach Prime may be viewing this as, hey, look, if you want Shedeur, you may have to trade with the Saints to get him at 9. If you want Shedeur, that may be his message to these other teams. Now, if a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers come calling, would the Saints be interested in trading out at 9th spot and going to 21 and let the Steelers get Shedeur Sanders at 9? Now, all of a sudden, you got leverage in this situation. Who would have thought Shedeur Sanders would be? Who would have thought Shedeur Sanders, you know, before this week occurred, before these last 2 months, who would have thought Shedeur Sanders and the New Orleans Saints would be in the same conversation? Would be in the same sentence. Who would have thought? But now it is. And maybe this could be a smoke screen, bro, by the Saints because they pretty much interviewed every quarterback that's in this draft. Quinn Ewers, they talked to him 3 times. They drummed up the interest of moving up to get Cam Ward. Now Shedeur Sanders. No, before that it was Jackson Dart. Then it was just Shedeur Sanders. Today I read a report that I think it came out yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, or today, that they work out with Jalen Miro out of Alabama, and according to the report by Jordan Schultz, is that the workout was impressive. Quotes in quotes. It was impressive workout. You know what I'm saying? So the Saints are not going to come out here and say, "Hey, look, we're not interested in Shedeur Sanders." They're not going to throw their hand. They're not going to show you their hand right now. They're the Saints are I think one of the most unpredictable teams when it comes to the NFL draft because it's hard. It's very difficult to get a read on what they may do. Nothing's a guarantee. So what I think is going to happen, they may get a quarterback, but I don't think it's going to be Shedeur Sanders. And I don't think it's going to be Jackson Dart. You know, and at pick 9, I don't think it's going to be a quarterback. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't think it's going to be a quarterback, in my opinion. But we'll see how it all play out. I think all of this stuff is just happening because of the draft, and these sites are trying to connect the dots. A lot of these sites out here around this time, especially around this time, make a lot of revenue with their advertisers because of the NFL draft. And this stuff is just to keep the storylines going, leading up to the draft. Because after Cam Ward, it becomes a crapshoot. That's when the real draft. That's when the real drama begins with the NFL draft after the first overall pick in this year's draft, in my opinion. Now there's a chance that Jackson Dart and Shedeur go in the first round, along with Cam Ward. So that would be 3 quarterbacks going in the first round. You know, so going back and thinking about it, about what he said, and read some stories out there, some opinions from more level-headed people. There may be something. Coach Prime may be on to something in regards to his son. You know, in the first being taken in the first round, and it may not be about the Saints. Deep down, he may have a preference for where his son go, and it may be the New York market. That's what he's really trying. I think that's what he's really trying to position his son for, the New York market. You know, but we'll see how it all play out soon, man. A lot of speculation going on right now. A lot of chatter. If the Giants or Browns take him, that pretty much seals it. That pretty much take the sense out of the conversation. You know, so we'll see how it all play out, man. But I don't think the Saints are going to take Shedeur Sanders, man. I don't. I don't think he's going to come to the New Orleans Saints. I do think the Saints will get a quarterback between rounds 2 and 4, but I don't think it's going to be Shedeur Sanders or even Jackson Dart. Maybe they take him in round 2, but I don't know if they're going to take him with the 9th overall pick. You know, so we'll see how it all play out. All right, so I have for y'all for right now. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. Um, do you think Shedeur Sanders is going to be the Saints clear cut top prospect at the with the 9th overall pick in the draft? Please subscribe to the channel. Have a blessed day. Peace. I'm out.